video, we're going to go over problems 5 through 9. So let's take a look at this situation. Danielle wants to figure out the total cost, C, of providing cake and punch at her birthday party. She wants to buy 2 cakes at a cost of $19 each. She also needs to purchase enough punch for everybody at the party. She estimates that the punch and cups together will cost 29 cents per person. Which equation can be used to determine the total cost of providing cake and punch for N people? That's N number of people. So pause, solve the video, solve the problem, and record your answer. Alright, so I went through and I picked out the important information. The total cost C, she wants to buy 2 cakes, so I put 2 number of cakes at $19 each, so cost of cake is $19. I just added in the dollar sign. She estimates, okay, so punch and cups are 29 cents per person, so that's the cost of punch and cups. And then N is the number of people. So we're going to do the same thing that we did in that first problem. So A, C equal the total cost equals 2 times 29. So that's going to be 2 number of cakes times 29 cents. Times the cost of the punch. Already I can tell that this one's wrong, because even if I did plus 19 times N number of people, I don't know why I just wrote 19 in, because that's the cost of the cake times the number of people. I'm multiplying the wrong things here. I'm multiplying the number of cakes times the cost of the punch, and the cost of the cake times the number of people. No, that's incorrect. So A is not our right answer. So then let's look at B. The total cost, C, equals 2, and 2 is the number of cakes, plus 19, which is the cost of the cake. Already I'm wondering about this one. Plus the cost of the punch and cakes plus the number of people. Is that correct? Am I adding 2, which is supposed to be the number of cakes, to the cost of the cakes? No, because that would be like $2 plus $19. I shouldn't be adding everything together, so B is not the correct answer. So then let's look at C. C equals, so the total cost equals 2 number of cakes times 19. Alright, this is looking a little more promising. Times 29 cents, and then times in number of people. This looks pretty good, because it's 2 times the number of cakes and then the cost of the punch times the number of people, but the problem is this multiplication sign right here, or this one right here. Am I going to multiply my 2 costs together? When you try and find the total of something, do you multiply all your costs together? No, you don't, so it's not C. So then let's look at D, and D has the same thing, so D is the exact same, except it's 2 times 19 plus 29 cents times N. So 2 times the number of cakes, it's 2 number of cakes times the cost per cake, and then plus the cost of the punch times the number of people. That's the correct answer. So do you see on these how you have to plug in what each value represents? It's a lot of work, but that's what you've got to do. You have to plug in your values to make sure that they make sense. So let's now look at number 6. Number 6 is simply a review from 6th grade. Find the measure of angle WZX to the nearest degree. Here's WZX on a protractor. Well, all we do, we have to count the space between the rays of the angle. So there's 10 degrees, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 degrees. That's an acute angle. It's an 80-degree angle. That's it. All right, number 7, which line contains the ordered pair negative 3, 2? The first thing you need to remind yourself is the first value is always your x. The second value is always your y. Your x goes across. See how those sound the same? X across. Y is long and lean, and it goes up and down. So your x-axis is your horizontal axis, and your y-axis is your vertical axis. These are also just number lines. So positive is to the right, negative is to the left, positive on the y is up, positive or negative on the y is down. So negative 3, 2. Where do we always start? At the origin. Negative 3 tells me I need to move to the left. 1, 2, 3, and then up. 2 tells me, positive 2 tells me I need to go up to 1, 2. So which line contains this point? Line K. Number 8, which of the following coordinates lie outside the star graph below? Solve this and then we'll go over it. We're looking for the outside, the one that's outside the star. So 0, 4. So let's again mark our x and our y. So we start at 0, 0, our origin. We go over 0 spaces, so we don't move any way left or right. And then positive 4, so we're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That point is inside the star, so that cannot be our answer. So let's look at B, negative 6, 4. Start at the origin, go left 6. So 1, 2, 3, hold on, 3, 4, 5, 6, and positive 4, so that tells me to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, that is inside the star. That cannot be the correct answer. So now let's look at C. So negative 3, that tells me to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, and then positive 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So that is also inside the star. So we are not going to choose C. So let's check D, make sure we didn't make a mistake somewhere. 4, 0. So 4, positive 4 tells me to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 0 tells me to move up or down 0 spaces, so I don't move at all. So that point, 4, 0 is right here, and it is outside the star. So that is the correct answer. So now it says most of the star is located in which quadrant. So remember from the video, if you draw a C for a coordinate plane, you start here and you continue on. So wherever you start, that is quadrant 1. So we continue down to quadrant 2 and continue down to quadrant 3 and keep on going to quadrant 4. So most of the star is here in quadrant 2. Alright, last one for this video. Determine the measure of angle X. So we're looking for this angle in the triangle below. Well, the first thing we need to think about is the sum of all angles of a triangle are 180. Now, in this situation, we're given only one angle. So let's just go ahead and subtract out the value of that one angle, or the measure of that one angle. So 180 subtract out 32 is 148 degrees. Now, this is, let's think about what type of triangle is this. We see these hash marks right here. This is an isosceles triangle. It has two congruent sides. So if it has two congruent sides, then these base angles here are also congruent. So that means that both of these angles have to have the same value. So between them, if their total value is 148, we can divide 148 by 2 and get 74. So the value of each angle is 74 degrees.